So good morning. I'm Jeff Koehl. I am the chairman of Spirol International. And at the present time, for those of you who know me, I spend 50 to 60% of my time outside of Connecticut and much of it outside of the United States. Some of my comments today might go beyond QBCC in the northeast corner, but my business travel does afford me a perspective about beyond our region. And I will tell you that I'm a degreed engineer, and math, science, and technology is pretty close to my heart as well. I'm going to try and paint a picture today, and it's very similar to the picture I think that Jeff just painted. We're going to do it a little bit differently. And I hope you get the story that I'm trying to present. To do that story, I have to go back and present a little bit of Spirol and our history. We were started 65 years ago in the northeast corner, right here in Denison, Connecticut. We are a manufacturer of precision metal fasteners for the automobile, aerospace, industrial pumps, and medical markets. We have 30,000 products, 15,000 customers worldwide, supported by 7 global plants and 10 global distribution centers. Our customers are small companies like General Motors, Honda, John Deere, Johnson & Johnson, Black & Decker, just to name a few. So Jeff, I understand exactly what you're saying. These customers are demanding, they demand price reduction, and they demand you to remain competitive in order to continue to earn their business. We make billions and billions of small metal parts. And we develop all of our own products to solve fastening and joining problems of our customers. We design all of our own manufacturing and production equipment. We're not considered high-tech. Companies have been manufacturing fasteners for hundreds of years. We're not in semiconductors or electronics. Most companies today that are manufacturing fasteners have closed their United States plants, closed all their plants in industrialized nations, and manufacture fasteners in China, in India, in Taiwan. And they ship those fasteners by the boatload into the United States and other industrialized nations. But all of Spirol's plants are in industrialized nations, with traditionally some of the highest wage costs or costs of doing business in the world. Connecticut is one of the top cost of doing business states in the nation, and our wage costs, although lower in northeast Connecticut, are still considerably higher than other parts of the world. We don't produce a single part in Asia, but our Asian division is our largest sales growth region in our company. Everything that we sell in Asia is produced in a high-wage nation. Recently, Spirol set a record on our fiscal year in our 65 years when we closed our books last year. And in March, we're going to have the single largest sales shipment month in our corporate history. 50% of our sales come outside of the United States right now. And of those, 25% of those sales and products are produced in our Danielson facility. It's a key facility for us. Continues to be a key facility. It's close to my heart. I live in northeastern Connecticut. I was born in northeastern Connecticut. I want to continue to see our plant here thrive. It's also very easy for me because when I am here, I can walk out to the plant, and I'm a manufacturing guy. You know, I'm an engineer. I stick my nose in, as Mark knows. You know, I go right in when I see a problem. So you might ask yourself, how are we able to compete against products made in countries where a good daily wage is $10 a day, not an hour, $10 a day? The answer is simple in concept and hard in execution. We focus on ingenuity, technical creativity, productivity, and producing our parts with the minimal amount of labor possible. You know, to solve a problem, we don't throw labor at it. We apply engineering and solution-solving skills to eliminate the problem or make us more productive. For example, 60 years ago, we produced one of our main products at 30 pieces a minute and had to have an operator or mechanic watch 2 machines constantly. So when something went wrong, they hit the stop button. Today, we produce those same products instead of 30 pieces a minute at 500 pieces a minute a mechanic, a highly skilled mechanic, is watching 10 machines, and many times we turn the lights out and run the machines unattended for 8 hours. Simply put, we are able to globally be competitive in high-wage company areas and countries by applying ingenuity and that technology to our process. Without this, we'd be able, like every other fastener manufacturer, shut off all our plants in the industrialized world and open a big giant plant in China. So some of the comments I'm going to make today aren't really specific about QVCC and Northeast Connecticut. It's about what our nation needs to do. And we are at the forefront. I was really happy to hear Senator Williams say we're at the forefront. We are at the forefront. You know, I feel strongly that manufacturing and maintaining our manufacturing in the United States, including Connecticut in the northeast corner, is key to our long-term health of our town, state, and country. The Industrial Revolution and the strong middle class that resulted from it has been the backbone of our country and has made us great. It's raised the standard of living over the last 100 years of hundreds of millions of Americans. There's been a lot of talk recently about the minimum wage in Connecticut and raising the minimum wage. I think this is the wrong focus. The focus needs to be about developing skills and competencies which allow companies in our region and our towns to produce products here and export them to the rest of the world, globally. You know, we need to move from a nation of exporters to a nation of importers. We need to produce products here competitively and have others buy them. Yes, there will always be a set of people around the world that are willing to work for $10 a day. Today it's China, tomorrow it's Africa. Chasing low-cost labor around the world is a dead-end strategy. And this undermines the very backbone and fabric that's made our country the richest in the world with the highest standard of living. The only sustainable strategy to keep millions of Americans employed, including in our northeast corner of Connecticut, and the country, is to produce products and services that others people in the country buy and outside of our country. The only way to do that is to educate and train engineers, mechanics, and technicians to solve challenges better than anybody else in the world. And I don't want you to believe that I think that, you know, I have been to hundreds and hundreds of companies, manufacturing companies outside of our country. And some of the most sophisticated in the world are in China, India. They're up and rising. They're coming on strong. It's not all about low wages. But we need to train and educate our students and our workforce to be creative, to have ingenuity, to have fortitude, have persistence. You know, I always think of Thomas Edison, and it says, you know, 10,000 times. It took him 10,000 attempts to make the light bulb filament. And some people say, well, that's 9,999 failures. And his reply is, no, that was 9,999 learning experiences, or something like that. It's a little bit different. But, you know, the machinery and the processes that result from that technology that we're employing here to make our products competitive ends up, whether you're making billions of small metal fasteners like Spirol or semiconductors, the technology and the processes end up being high-tech. I said we're not high-tech. We are. We're not the factory that, you know, of 50 years ago. We employ state-of-the-art technology to remain competitive in the world, and to do that, we need to have a trained workforce which is able to use it, and not just use it, but to continually evolve it to remain competitive in the world. So this is what we're doing here today. We're here to applaud our legislators, applaud the leadership of the college for having the vision to provide those kind of resources that companies like Spirol can continue to stay in the northeast corner of Connecticut and continue to employ people here, where we make a product here that is bought by the rest of the world. So thank you very much for your leadership and the commitment from the state.